Choosing a factoring method. When we're working with factoring polynomials, there's many different methods to factor a polynomial, and we've learned all these different methods in this chapter. So in this section in lesson, you are going to be given a polynomial that you're going to have to determine which method you're going to use to factor it. So as it says here and mentions, it says to factor a polynomial completely, you need to use more than one factoring method. And you're going to use the steps below to factor a polynomial completely. So these are the steps that are involved when you're looking at a polynomial and determining which method to do. So step 1, you're going to check if there's a greatest common factor, GCF. Step 2, you're going to check for a pattern that fits the difference of two squares or a perfect squared trinomial. Step 3, you're going to factor x squared plus bx plus c, and you're going to look for two numbers whose sum is going to be your b, and the product is going to be c. And then to factor ax squared plus bx plus c, the difference between the two, the first one you just have x squared, here you have ax squared. There's a value in front of x squared. You're going to check factors of a and factors of c in the binomial factors, and the sum of the products of the outer and inners should be b. And then step 4, you're going to check your common factors. If none of these factoring methods work for the polynomial, then the polynomial is going to be unfactorable. So if none of these methods work, the polynomial is unfactorable. Here's the same chart, but it's giving you variables here and examples. So any polynomial, you look for the greatest common factor. Here, a would be my greatest common factor, so you pull that out. And they're giving you examples. So you have here 6x squared y plus 10x squared y squared. You're going to pull out 2xy. That's your greatest common factor for this. For the binomials, looking at the difference of two squares, remember you have a squared minus b squared. So with your parentheses, you'd set that up a plus b, a minus b. Giving you numbers here, you have x squared minus 9y squared. So when we factor that out, that would be x plus 3y, x minus 3y. For perfect square trinomials, you could have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, which is a plus b squared, or a squared minus 2ab plus b squared would be a minus b squared. Here we have some values to represent that. And then the last term here, we have polynomials of 4 or more terms factored by grouping. Remember, we've learned this too in this section. So make sure you write this down, because that's going to help you, these different methods help you determine how to find the factors in this section. So let's get started with some examples. It says, tell whether each expression is completely factorable. If not, factor it. So here we have a 4x plus 4, x plus 1. So we have to determine if there's a greatest common factor, something that can be factored out here. Well, 4x plus 4 can be further factored. So what you can do is you can factor out a 4 here, which will give you x plus 1 times x plus 1. So your final answer of this factored out completely is 4 times x plus 1 squared, and this is the completely factored answer. For b, we have 5x squared, x minus 1. We need to see if there's something we can factor out, and actually there's nothing really we can factor out with that x minus 1. So neither 5x squared nor x minus 1 can be factored any further. So this certain scenario, this 5x squared parenthesis x minus 1 is completely factored out. For example 2, it says factor the polynomial completely and check your answer. Notice they are asking you to check. So you have 2x squared y minus 2y to the third. So we have to see if there's a greatest common factor. And the greatest common factor is going to be 2y, because we have 2 in each situation, and y. So we pull that out, and we're left with x squared minus y squared. How do you get x squared minus y squared? Well, this is the difference of two squares method, so that's going to be x plus y, x minus y. So you have 2y, parenthesis, x plus y, x minus y, and this would be our final answer. To check it, what you do is you are going to plug back in this 2y, x plus y, x minus y. You're going to plug that back into the original. So notice what they've done here is they took 2y, parenthesis, x plus y, so it's x squared plus xy minus y squared. How did they get that? Well, they foiled. That x times x is x squared. X times y is minus xy. Y times x is plus xy. Y times negative y is minus y squared. And then you combine like terms here to get 2x squared y plus 2xy squared minus 2xy squared minus 2y to the third. And then that would factor out to be what the original answer is, 2x squared y minus 2y to the third. For example 3, we're going to factor the polynomial completely. We have 3x squared plus 7x plus 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our a, which is 3, our c, which is 4. When we add our a and c together, we need to get our inner value, which is 7. So we have to think of factors of 3 is 3 and 1. Factors of 4 is going to be 1 and 4, 2 and 2, or 4 and 1. And when we set up parentheses, how would we set it up? Well, we have two positives here, so we're going to have two plus signs in the parentheses. Bring out that 3x and x, so then you determine, are you going to use 2 and 2 or 4 and 1 to get 7? So when you do 3 times 4, 1 times 1, that's 13. That does not work. 3 times 2 plus 1 times 2 is 8. That does not work. So what that leaves us left with 3 times 1 plus 4 times 1. 3 plus 4 is 7. So 3x plus 4, x plus 1 is your final answer. For example 4, it says factor each polynomial completely. Here we're going to check our answer. So with this, we need to find a greatest common factor and pull that out. The greatest common factor is going to be 3q to the 4th. So then we rewrite the remaining, which is 3q squared. 9 times 3q to the 4th is 3q squared. 30q to the 5th divided by 3q to the 4th is going to give me 10q. 24q to the 4th divided by 3q to the 4th just gives me 8. So then we have to think of, in the parentheses, my a and my c. A is 3, c is 8. It has to add to be 10. So you can create a chart to find factors of 3, your a, to find factors of c, which is 8. But we'll also add up to 10, and the factors are going to be 3q and q, 4 and 2. So 3q to the 4th, and then parenthesis 3q plus 4, parenthesis q plus 2 is going to be your final answer.